What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Woodward Sports Network. Of course, this is Big D Energy. My name is Neil Rule. This guy over here, former Detroit Lions great Joik Bell. This guy over here, former Red Wings great Darren McCarty. Fish is in the fishbowl. What we got? We got Alex 1.0. Is that the terminology we're going with in the production booth? Alex Matt's away. Happy to have you with us wherever you are watching. Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app. If you have not already, go in your App Store, go in your Google Play Store, get it that way. Certainly everybody that's watching on YouTube as well, interacting. You guys will be doing it. You always do. We certainly do appreciate that. Happy to have you with us on a Friday. College football starts this weekend. Final preseason game. Fish is pumping his fist. He's excited. It's our first edition of Detroit City FC Fridays. D-Mac, I know this was important to you. We're going to talk to Andrea Reynolds coming up around 12:25. She's really one of the point person as far as the Northern Guard is concerned. Pound for pound, the best sports fans in Detroit, probably in America as well. But D-Mac, I know this was important for you to do this.
Well, it's important. If I'm going to sit here and preach culture and whatever, let's go to the top right now. This is our most successful franchise in the city, and they have the fan base. So I want to learn also too, because as I tell every Wings fan, and now if you're Wings, Lions, Tigers, Pistons, because of what these teams are doing in the direction of this organization, how do we get so the fans could be a part of it? Because I know, Joink, as an athlete, when the Ford Field's rocking and you're getting the ball, I mean, we as athletes feed off that adrenaline. I know Joe Louis was like that for me. So anyway, they've kept it going. They're the New York Yankees or Detroit Red Wings of their sport right now, but the fan base is huge, and they have a great party. Now, I'm not saying I'm wanting to blow up bombs and stuff, like smoke bombs and stuff inside LCA. I'm not saying that. I'm just
but you're
saying,
not opposed to it, though, either.
How can we do that? You know, I'd like to get the chants going, and how do you get everybody involved? And what I love is the camaraderie in the community, and so why not take it from the horse's mouth? And I'm excited to have Andrea on and talk about the Northern Guard.
Yeah, which certainly we will. And Joik, I had an I'm old moment. You and I were talking before the show began. Antonio Gates Jr. setting the high school football world on fire with his performances. And I'm getting old, Joik. I know that. I understand that. I'm starting to come to grips with it. I even wear vintage T-shirts here. I have my. I even have my. My Sega
Sergey,
NHL
dude,
94 Sergey
That's
Fedorov.
That's to make Gretzky bleed, Sergey. The 91. I love it.
Right. So Joik, I've embraced it. I'm getting old, and that's okay, right?
No, it is okay. And I think I was watching this highlight, and when they were playing at Wayne State, and the funny thing is, I met him a couple years ago. Big kid. He's probably about my size. He was at I think he was helping out at Happy's gift giveaway one Christmas. It was him and his mother. They were there, and I got a chance to sit down and talk with them, and very bright young man.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll discuss your getting old moments as well. Easy.
I don't have those moments.
Liar.
I don't have them.
Liar, bro. You're a liar, Joik.
You know what? You know, getting old moments is when I see a movie and I see the year it came out, like Poetic Justice. Came out in '93. I was like, "Whoa, '93? Feel old yet?"
That means you're old, Joik.
Yeah. So it's moments like that. But as far as like watching somebody and like, whoa.
Hey, this guy's looking for first class, I think. I don't know. This guy's lost.
This guy's lost here.
Yeah.
He's in the row.
The moral of the story is, Joik, you're getting old. We'll discuss that. Lots of moments for me anyway.
We all.
Miguel Cabrera says he's going to hang it up after 2 more years. We'll discuss that as well. And again, this is kind of a running theme for me. Why isn't he getting the love I think that he deserves? So we'll discuss that a little more as well. Easy will join us here from Woodward Sports. He's down in Cleveland covering the Jake Paul, Tyrone Woodley fight. Joik, you a boxing guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am too.
Is this boxing though?
Yeah.
Like, yes.
It's boxing.
It's boxing.
It's definitely not. It's definitely not the octagon. It's definitely not that. I don't think they would do that.
Yeah.
I don't think they're that. I think they'll stick to boxing.
Yeah. Absolutely. But because I'm a big boxing guy, and I'm conflicted, right? Because I'm happy the boxing's getting the attention, but this is a circus. We'll discuss. I mean, there certainly are some circus moments too. Easy's got a couple of videos just to show.
Now, is it a circus? Or are they bringing are they bringing that fire
Are they
back?
promoting?
Are they promoting? They're promoting boxing.
And there's a very fine line there. There is, and I'm with you. And I think a lot of people get caught up in that, and they say, oh, it's a circus and everything like that. No, it's promotion. You got to give the people what they want. We'll discuss that a little bit as well. College football starts this weekend, week 0. They're calling it week 0 for some stupid reason. I don't know.
No, like seriously, like
I have no idea. I got nothing for you.
The first week back, I guess, after this long hiatus of.
But Joink, as a like you guys all know it. It's just known as week 0 across the board. It just didn't start.
I don't get it.
Well, because it technically doesn't start till next week. Next week
See,
is
it
the
technically
real
starts
start.
tomorrow because teams are playing.
Yeah,
I know that, but they just say week 1 starts the week of Labor Day.
but you
it's
just
not.
said technically,
Yeah.
and technically,
So why they going with week 0?
So
I
it starts.
can't wait,
So
help
That's-
technically,
That's dumb.
so are they saying because it's what you're not one of the big boys of the SEC until they play? That's when the ticker starts.
They're also saying not everyone's. There's only like 6 games tomorrow.
Only, but
So
And
they're basically
I don't-
saying
I
not
don't know,
everyone
Chris,
is
you better just
playing.
drop the
They're saying not
argument.
everyone is playing, so we can't equate this as week 1. So, F it, week 0, I guess. They had no better name.
That's stupid. Well, it's stupid. Doesn't change the fact that it's stupid, Fish. I think both things can be true.
I
No,
agree
but
with you.
both
I
they can be
agree with
true.
you. It is stupid, but I'm defending them and saying why they called it week 0.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Are
That's
you
all I can
defending
do.
them, or are you just giving an explanation on why you think they called it week 0?
Both defending them and
And if
giving
you
an
play
explanation.
week 0,
Why are
does
you
that
defending?
mean it's like multiplication where you're a 0? Like times no matter what. If you have to play week 0, you're lesser than.
I was
in
told
this
there'd be no
society
math.
of cancel culture.
Yeah. When I signed that contract, I was told there would be no math there, and I put it in there. I don't want any of that. I don't want any of that stuff out here.
I could be wrong, but I believe that Illinois-Nebraska game that's tomorrow was supposed to be in Ireland. I might be wrong. They're not playing in Ireland
So
because
if
of
you play in
COVID,
Ireland, you
but
get
I
a
think they
0?
were supposed to
Who
play
knows,
it
man?
in Ireland, and in order to give them a week off.
Yeah,
they decided to
but
play it this
anyway,
week.
we'll discuss. I have my first real college football story. The Athletic came out and ranked every single college football team, and I think it's going to be surprising to a lot of the local football fans how bad things have gotten around here. And you brought up that Illinois-Nebraska game, Fish. And look, Darren, you're friends with a lot of media people. I'm friends with a lot of media people. Joik doesn't like the media at all because he was an NFL player, right? Is that accurate or no?
No, it's
There's
not.
a couple you like, right?
Yeah, no, I liked it. I didn't have anything against the media. I just, was very careful with my words.
Yeah.
It's been one time I was misquoted that I didn't like that particular person who wrote it, but I never had anything against the media per se.
Per se. All right.
se.
Put all those qualifiers out there, Jake. But anyway, can I ask my media friends a favor? When Illinois plays Nebraska tomorrow, somebody's going to win. Can you stop the whole they're back? If it's Illinois and Brett Bielema, he's back in the Big Ten. He's making it stop. Nebraska's bad. Scott Frost is bad. They're like Michigan times 1.5. It's awful there. Their glory days are long gone. They're not coming back, so just stop. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear Illinois back. I don't want to hear Nebraska's back. They're playing each other, so somebody's got to
Pretty
win,
much
so
the
save
proof's
it.
in the pudding that anything Big Ten talk, if it's not Ohio State, right, then be quiet, because if you're talking about Big Dot, you can't start the narrative already. Let's see them put a few weeks together. I relate it back to yesterday, and I forget who was on the tweeter talking about, but it's like the Lions. Let's see them after a few weeks in and see what we have and put our fandom in the proper place. So really, it's Ohio State's the only team really that if you're going to talk about anything.
I just don't want to hear that. I
I
don't want
know,
to hear
it's the
Illinois
same
back or
narrative.
Nebraska's back.
Well,
I don't
then
want
you
to hear
better-
that.
you better
I don't
hope
wanna
for a
hear
close
Michigan's
game.
back, Michigan State's back, whatever, until give me 5 games. Something where they put it back to back. Show me some consistency.
Or you
Show me
do
your building.
something. Or you do something notable. I don't know, Fish. I don't want to hear it.
You better hope for a close game, because if Illinois blows Nebraska out, you're going to get that.
No, I know,
talk.
and I know it's coming. I know
Did
it's
you say
coming
please?
already.
Maybe if you say please,
Yeah,
don't do
please,
that.
media
local
friends,
media.
please save the Nebraska's back stuff. Save the Brett Bielema's back in the Big Ten stuff. I don't want to hear it, but we'll discuss a little more. I like this on the YouTube comment thread already. MPWMU says take Illinois +7. You're welcome. Now, if you want to do the gambling talk about it, cool.
Yes. Yeah, that's a whole different
That's a
ballgame.
whole different ball game. That's absolutely different. But we do have a big show lined up for you here today. We'll talk to Nick Antonucci coming up at 11:25. He's the Detroit Lions hometown hero. And this, Darren, this will be a running thing that we do Every week that there's a Lions home game, they have a hometown hero. If you've been to the Lions game, you know this. And we honor service members. The Detroit Lions honor service members. And a mutual friend of ours, Ronnie Cyrus, reached out to me. And, he and I got to talking. We're pretty good friends. We play a lot of golf. And I love this story.
Golf. Ronnie comes along for the shiggles.
Yeah, absolutely. He says he's taking lessons, though, and he's better. But
absolutely.
It's something to me that I think is important. I know it's something for you that you think is really important. So we're going to highlight the service of some of our veterans out there, and certainly the ones the Lions honor at Ford Field. And Joik, when they do the hometown heroes thing, that gives off an energy in the building.
Yeah, it's kind of dope to see them come out like before the game, and we can honor the people that's helping protect us, so we can play this game that we love. And so it's great for them to be able to have some recognition.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's a cause that you're about, D-Mac.
It's close to home because it's my guy who is my right-hand man, and he's being honored tonight. So I'm excited. But I'm more interested in what you say about Illinois +7. Thank you. Because if I was going to do it, one of the things that not only honoring the Lions person of the week, but you can go to mybookie.ag, guys. The studio sponsor. Yes, the winning season returns at mybookie.ag. Go there right now. They're going to match up to $1,000 your deposit bonus if you use the code word Woodward. Yes, the promo code Woodward. First deposit, dollar for dollar match. So you can go right now, hit Illinois +7, and take the money to the bank. Who said that? Who guaranteed that, Neil?
MPWMU on their YouTube
we can
thread.
say that is. There's other college footballs bets for, as Fish said, 6 games for week 0, or if you're getting ready to lock up the NFL lock of the season, over 500,000 contest prizes live on site to make the winning season your best ever with mybookie.com, mybookie.ag. Promo code Woodward. Do it now. Get a match for match up to $1,000. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Mr. Bell, Mr. Rule, Mr. McCarty will be right back here on Big D Energy.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
We're off and running here. Big D Energy, Neil Rule, Joik Bell, Darren McCarty with you. Happy to have you along for the ride on Woodward Sports Network. Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store, in the Google Play Store. Do it. Do it. On a Friday, coming into the weekend, hot and heavy. Lions in action tonight. They square off against the Indianapolis Colts. Mercifully, the preseason is over. And Joik, look, we talked about this yesterday. Just the way that no one's playing. Why are we doing this? I know, Joik, it's different for you. It hits different for you because you lived it. But, I mean, the fan in me just wonders why we're doing this, man.
We talked about this yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to play out tonight. But I know the people that's on the wire, they'll be out there playing. The guy that's fighting for a roster spot, they'll be out there playing tonight. The guys that the coaches need to let's take one more look, or it's close at a certain position. We want to see what these guys do in this specific game. It's going to be crucial for those guys. And the guys that's on the wire, you're going to have Victor Bolden. You're going to have P.J. Johnson, Javon Leak. Who else are we going to have? You're going to have Jelani Tavai. He's on the route.
He is.
Yeah,
Make no mistake, he is.
Yeah. Damian Ratley at wide receiver. So these guys are going to have to go out here and going to have to play and really, really stand out. They're going to have to stand out. And then not only that, but they're going to have to stand out not only at their position, but they're also going to have to stand out on special teams. Because right now, a guy that they were worried about was actually a friend of mine, and Jalen, was that Reeves Maben? Yep. So maybe he'll be safe because he's been a standout on special teams, and so he's going to be a crucial part with this team moving forward. So he might be safe, but like a guy like Jelani Tavai, he's going to have to come out this game and really make a name for himself, because right now the name he has for himself is up in the air.
Well, Joik, you told me this before, and I thought it was very interesting discussion. Some of these guys, their ticket to get into the league is through special teams.
It's through special teams.
And talk about the art of special teams. Like, how does one be a good special teams player?
Go out there and give 100% effort. It takes no. So it's play your position, know your assignments, and give 100% every single play. They notice that in practice, and it's going to translate to the game. And if you have an opportunity to go down and make a play, that's how I was able to stick around until I got my opportunity at running back. I played special teams. I did my job. I knew exactly what my assignments were, and I did my assignments to the best of my ability, and it kept me around to my third year where I got my first NFL carry, and then it just kind of went from there. But special teams is definitely the way you stay in the league if you're not that big name guy.
Yeah, and I like that you brought that up too, because for me as the fan, I'm snap reaction, knee-jerk fan. It took you 3 years to get a carry in the league through special teams.
Yeah.
So you got to say, Neil, don't say this stuff isn't important. This is life or death for some dude. You can do that, Joey. You can say you're an idiot, Neil.
No, but here's the thing: is what I watched like last game or whatever is, and I mentioned the onside kick. We recovered the onside kick. Whoever recovered that and the guys that made that play, that's the effort play. Those are the little things. In hockey, when you come in, and if you're not a star guy or a top tier guy, you got to do the little things, and that's keep the puck out of the net. So, it's way more important that you get the puck out of your end or make that good first pass or take the hit and do the sacrifice things to get in the lineup. And then, as Joink said, you might get the ball, but you get more time. You don't start out on the power play, but you can earn power play time. So that's where you take priority or a lot of pride in killing penalties. That's like blocking shots. Blocking shots is an art. Kirk Maltby, Chris Draper made an art form of killing penalties and stuff like that. But that's just as important to keep it out of your net. So you got to find your niche, and in football, it's the same way. Whatever gets you in the door, it'll be the same thing. It's effort, right, Joey? Like we said yesterday, watching Tavai on the effort, on the tackle back during balling with Bell, but on the kickoff, it's just guys' motors running all the time. That's why they always get excited, because this is their time to shine.
One thing you never want a coach to tell you to do. So we're in practice, and I see a guy over, and he's tired. I can tell I see he's tired, and the coach is telling him to pick it up. And I remember when a coach is coaching another player, he's coaching you too. So when he's talking, you make sure you're listening.
Yeah.
And so this is during training camp. He said, listen, never let a coach tell you to pick it up. Tell him, make him tell you to slow it down, bring it back.
Yeah.
You don't ever want to you never want to hear that, right? And so I remember we were in training camp here in Detroit, and I was on punt, and I was going through a drill, and I was giving 100% effort. And they usually say, if you make a mistake, make it going 100 miles per hour. And I made a mistake. I didn't stay in my lane. And the coach said, listen, Joy, I love your effort. Here. But make sure you take an outside release. And that's what it was. I didn't take an outside release. And I said, okay, that's fine. I'll take an outside release. But me staying in my lane, I was in my lane. But he didn't. I was in my lane. I just took an inside release. Yeah. But
you didn't say that at the time.
I didn't say that at the time. No, I'm just like, okay, cool. Because I know we were trained to take an outside release, but the guy took such a wide approach to me. I just say, you know what, I can beat him and still get inside and get to my lane. And so so fast forward, that always stuck with me. And the terms that I will always hear, the more you can do, the longer you'll stick around. And so that always was in my head going into the league. So I wasn't a punt returner, but after every practice, I was back there catching punts with all the punt returners. I wasn't a kick returner, but after every practice, I was back there with the kick returners, catching kickoff returns after every practice. Just doing it, showing the coach, I can do it. I can catch it. You can trust me to catch these punts. Fast forward, game one preseason, I'm standing on the sideline with the coach. Punt return goes out there on the field. It's about the third or fourth quarter. And the coach looks at me and said, Joik, go get one. I had never practiced it during practice. He just threw me out there. And so I went out there and did it. So that's the definition of the more you can do. Getting out there, stay after practice. Anything you can do to make the coaches notice you, do it, especially when you don't have a big name.
Yeah, absolutely. That is the name of the game. And that is what you'll see tonight. And look, Woodward Sports covering Lions training camp. We got people out there, feet on the ground. Our guy Corey Woods is out there. If you're not following him on Twitter, you're a big Lions fan, you need to, because he's out there. He's knocking it down, man. He's killing it. He's got a Roar on Woodward report. Let's give that a spin, get everybody up to date with what's going on. Corey Woods with our Roar on Woodward report.
Happy Thursday, Lions fans. Tomorrow night is the last preseason game. This is Corey Woods, your Detroit Lions beat writer with the Woodward Sports Network, checking in with another Roar on Woodward Report. And as I just said, tomorrow night is the last preseason game. The Detroit Lions are going to take on the Indianapolis Colts at Ford Field. And guess what you should expect tomorrow? Expect to not see the starters. Lions head coach Dan Campbell, Colts head coach Frank Reich, they agreed to rest their starters. So expect to see a lot of third, fourth stringers out there trying to make the 53-man roster. I don't know who's going to make it, but I'm curious to go out there and see who's going to make some plays, who's going to go out there and impress these coaches, because coaches have until Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to finalize their 53-man roster before they head into the regular season. Some other news coming out of training camp is about Tyrell Williams. Like DeAndre Swift, like Deshaun Hand, Williams he's nursing a groin injury. That's 3 players nursing groin injuries. What's going on here? But do not fret. The Detroit Lions expect him to be ready to suit up Week 1 versus San Francisco 49ers, and they're going to need him. With Kenny Golladay gone and Marvin Jones gone, they are expecting Williams to step up and be that #1 wideout for them. Let's see what he does. Another hot topic in the city of Detroit is involving a former Detroit Lions player by the name of Golden Tate. Everybody wants to see this guy come back to the city, and judging by Dan Campbell's comments, it makes a lot of sense. He said that there is a lot of competition right now in the wide receiver room, and that there has yet to be a guy to step up to be that guy. Now, let's be real. Golden Tate is a little bit older, but he has also not had the greatest quarterbacks throwing to him. I mean, Daniel Jones? All right. But what do you fans think? Should the Lions entertain bringing back Golden Tate? I believe they should. He's going to add instant credibility to that room. He is a champion, and he's had some of his most successful years here in Detroit. Once again, this is Corey Woods, your Detroit Lions beat writer with the Woodward Sports Network, checking in with another Roar on Woodward Report.
Big thank you to Corey Woods, a Roar on Woodward Report, but he kind of set the stage for you, and it's nothing that we haven't discussed here. If you're looking for starters, probably not going to see many, if at all. And for me, the bottom line is just get out of there healthy. That's all that matters. I've stood up here on my soapbox and said I want one less preseason game and one more regular season game. But I got a feeling we'll get to that as it goes on. But I am encouraged in checking out a lot of the writers. DeAndre Swift, Joik, has been practicing, has been doing some things. The groin obviously certainly is going to remain a concern. But again, this is my ongoing theme, because if this Lions team is going to turn their fortunes around, DeAndre Swift's going to be a central figure in all of that, because he's got the talent, no doubt about it. But as you've said 100 times, your best ability is availability. It doesn't matter if you're not on the field.
Hey, you got to keep that groin nice and warm. Nice and warm. But speaking of warm, have I told you about Northwestern Tech? Start a new career in the industry that's always essential, the heating and cooling industry. To learn more today, go to northwesterntech.edu. Joik Bell, Neil Rule, and my boy D-Mac. Woodward Sports, stay tuned.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Welcome back to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Joik Bell, D-Mac, Darren McCarty here with you. Happy to have you along for the ride on a Friday, pushing towards that weekend. College football starts, NFL preseason wrapping up. The Lions will play host to the Indianapolis Colts down at Ford Field tonight.
Guess who else plays?
What's that?
Guess who else plays?
Who else?
My son plays tonight.
Oh, yeah?
St. Joe High School, yeah.
Let's
High
go.
school?
Let's go.
Said you're driving out to the game tonight, right?
Driving down there to the game tonight. My nephew played last night, which is good because he's on varsity. My son's on varsity. But luckily, their game was last night, their first one. And my son's first game is tonight, so I'm able to make both. Look at that.
Nice.
Won't he do it? Won't he do it?
Won't he do it? We'll find out on Tuesday.
Yeah, you know, and the great part was my nephew scored the only 2 touchdowns for his team yesterday at wide receiver. Nice. He's nice. Now, he's going to be something special.
What position?
Wide receiver. He's going to be something special. I mean, nice, quick feet, fast, can open up. I'm just excited to see if that's going to translate to my son tonight. So let's see what happens.
Positions your son play?
Wide receiver.
Okay. Oh,
there it
cousins.
Yeah, so cousins are going. So I have them train together, and then my other nephew. Well, he's actually my little cousin. Actually, I just call him my nephew. He's playing at Kelloggville High School, and he plays wide receiver as well. And I want to see what he does too. So I'm excited.
Can you imagine the family reunion? They get around and all 3 of them, and then Joint tells them which one's better than the other one or whatever like that.
Listen, I tell you. Whenever we go to the family reunion, I also have another look. So my nephew is in college now. He's a running back for Olivet. And I also have another cousin who goes to school in Missouri, and they're both sophomores this year, both on the football team. So we have a football family.
Wow.
So I guess they're following somebody's footsteps. I don't know who it is, but I don't know who it is. But yeah, good times. I mean, it's funny because you go to these family reunions and it gets real competitive. I have a very competitive family, and the kids they're coming out the shoes, they're coming out the socks, and they're lining up and they're running routes. Even the girls are getting in there.
I love it.
I'm telling you, even my niece is getting in there. So it's fun. It's fun.
In the blood. It's in the blood with that
fun.
family, man. It's in the blood with that family. But we did mention that the Lions are wrapping up preseason play, and they will play host to the Indianapolis Colts tonight. And one of the cool things that the Lions do is they bring out their hometown hero of the game, and it is a cool moment. Joy talked about it. The players stand, they take notice, and we're lucky enough to have tonight's hometown hero honoree in studio here on Big D Energy. His name is Nick Antonucci. Graduated from Crestwood High in Dearborn Heights in 1999, then joined the U.S. Army, served honorably for the next 4 years as a military police officer with the 10th Mountain Division out of Fort Drum, New York. Nick, appreciate you sliding here in studio. And what about that, man? When you got the call or the email or whatever to say, hey, you know, your service time is going to be honored at Ford Field, part of the hometown heroes. I know you're a big Detroit sports fan. You've been to the games. You know the energy in that building. What'd that mean to you?
It was big. It was. It's nice to be recognized for something that happened a while back, and some of the other things that we're doing to help vets. You know, now it's great, but it's really nice. Typically, the calls I get aren't necessarily for me. They're usually for somebody else.
Yeah.
But no, it's a huge honor. Thank you to you guys. Thank you guys to the Detroit Lions. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ronnie Cyrus, who handles veteran affairs for the Lions, certainly, he got with me, and this is something we're going to do going forward, but appreciate kicking it off with you. So, I mean, just talking about that time, Nick, I mean, you did your service time in New York, rolled out to Egypt with the multinational force and the observation team. You're awarded the Joint Service, Commendation Medal, and Combat Action Badge while serving overseas. And you know, a big event happened during your time in the Army. Of course, that was 9/11. I mean,
right.
What was that moment like for military service people?
It was a little scary. I mean, I went in at a time where nothing was going on. I went in early 2000, and you know, it was
because you're I mean, to some degree, you're still, you know, a lot of service people are trying to figure their life out at
100%.
that point, and you know, we don't know exactly what we're going to do, and then boom, it gets as real as it gets.
Definitely. You know, I probably could have played for the Lions then, broke, you know, I don't know, I'll claim a knee injury or something. That never would have happened. Yeah, so when we went, you know, when we're there, you know, I went in with not a whole lot going on, right? And I just didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I was, you know, going to school, going to college, and just bored. And then an opportunity came up to go to the military, so I signed up for 2 years as a military police officer. And I wasn't in that long before we got orders to actually go to Kosovo. So I re-enlisted for another year, a year in, and the orders got declined. So we ended up getting orders to go to Egypt instead. And when I was there, September 11th happened, and then things got real fast. We packed up. We were planning on going out to the mountains to kind of stage there until moving into Afghanistan. Ultimately, we finished out the tour there to where I went back home. We trained up, and then I went to Afghanistan at that point. So what happens in the military if something like this kicks off is it's called stop loss. So somebody of my MOS or job was deemed that we can't get out. So I think I had a ID card at one point that said it expired in like 2042, which is really disheartening to kind of see, right? So we didn't know when we were getting out and whatever. So I volunteered to go to Afghanistan, and about a week before everybody else was getting out, they lifted the stop loss and went home.
Sure, it's crazy though, but for anybody who knows me or does stuff, is the big change for me in my life. And obviously, and Nick and I have known each other in the great game of golf, and I think it was the Detroit Lions outing actually about 6-7 years ago, where we met, and Nordy, a bunch of his golf guys, and we became friends through golf. But it was one thing that I think it's very important, because what I needed, and where I said to Nick, for me to come back from Florida, and this is in the December of 2018, it was, I could only do it, but I needed his help, because what I needed, and I realized as we were starting different things, what he brought is that military spec. So the mil spec or whatever like this, and Nick always says, so when he mentioned earlier that he's always fielding calls, because yes, he is my right hand. He is the Nick at DarrenMcCarty.com gets worn out, and I couldn't do it without him. But it's how important it is for me, right? And I want you to talk about that, about introducing that mil spec into the Grind Time family, but also sort of how it is with me. And it's easy, and people say to me, wow, man, you're doing all this and you're doing all that, and I'm able to do it because of the team I have, starting with everything ends with Nick, as far as if it's a good idea, if it's a bad idea, don't do this, don't do that, because of the mil spec. And I know at the end of the day, what it's given me is the structure. So can you just talk about that? Because I think that just because I wasn't in the military, but we found the correlation between athletes, the locker room, the military mindset is why Grind Time and Team Valhalla, right, which is why they're intersynced and they do both things together. But can you just say that through all this time, but you've brought this military spec into civilian life, and it's a huge impact not only on my life but the people around. So talk about that in Valhalla.
Yeah, so to back up a little bit, like Darren and I hit it off. We got linked up with Charlie Sanders Foundation golf outing, and we kind of hit it off around golf. Hockey was the one sport I never played, so we didn't connect there. It wasn't about that. But something that veterans, and Darren and I made the connection years later, was the connection between veterans and professional athletes. On its face, it seems really weird. But what it is we're in the military, we're experiencing things with men and women that you can't explain to people who haven't done it. You're sharing all these experiences that you can't explain, never happen again. And it's the same thing with professional athletes. They're I'm sure Joyke remembers taking the first snap that he was ever on the field. That experience he can't explain to somebody like me. I never played. Darren, same thing. You won 4 cups. How do you explain that to somebody? But you did it with all the people around you, and it's a lifelong bond. And then one day, it's over. For the military, for professional athletes. So it's a really weird mind space to be in. So Darren and I kind of connected on that and created this, the Operation Valhalla, which is the charity that Darren and I started to support veterans and their families coming up on some difficult circumstances. So it's been it started with Dan O'Connor, who passed away. He's a really good friend of ours in the show, and we decided to do something about it. So we've been growing the foundation and growing, and we just had our 3rd annual Darren McCarty Charity Classic to fund the veterans in need. So it's been awesome.
I think the biggest point that Nick said is that what we both realize is that whether you're an athlete or whether you're a military guy, it's about, when it's not about you, it's about the people beside you, and it's about being accountable, to them. In their case, it's
Right.
life or death. In our case, it's wins or losses or money or whatever. But you develop that bond because that bond is life or death, right?
Yeah.
Then it's the same thing. So,
And kind of going with what you're saying with the mil spec, it's kind of how it works. Every roadblock there is has another answer for it. So we always think ahead and think ahead and think ahead. And I take that, personal life, work with Darren of, all right, this is the path that we're going on. If this comes up, this is how we handle it, and make sure everything's organized and ready to go at all times.
Yeah, I always found it very interesting, the military lifestyle. I remember I told myself that when I hit about, because I think you can go out for the Marines up until, what, is it 35?
Right.
Yeah, up until 35. So I always told myself, I'm going to go play in the league, then I'll enlist in the Marines, because I always thought, this is at a younger age before I was, and I also had teammates from college who ended up joining the Marines and things of that nature. Now, when I asked my family this, I have family who's probably been in the military for different branches for about 20 plus years. And so I asked them about certain things or certain events that may have happened. And one of the events that happened was 9/11. And so when that happened, I remember I was in my freshman class, and then a teacher ran up to our floor and told us what had happened. For the first, they thought it was just an accident, and then they came back about 10, 20 minutes later and said, well, another one crashed into the other one, so we knew it was a terrorist attack. And so I think they sent the kids, they sent us home. When you were enlisted, what was the scariest part? I know you said it was scary when that happened. What was the scariest part for that for you?
So when I first enlisted, going into the military, what was the scariest part?
Okay.
So I would say, so you get to in processing, and you're expecting the worst immediately, all the movies and everything else, and you get there and you dump out all your stuff, and the drill sergeants aren't that bad. I was like, this is okay. So they put us on in processing for about a week, and then they put us on little cattle trucks, and we're front to back stacked in there, and I don't know how this happened, I still don't understand, but we're about to get off, and a drill sergeant literally appeared on the cattle truck. So he changed his outfit to make him look like a day one soldier, and then fixed it while he was on there. And then it got terrifying, because it was no holds bar for military police. It's one-stop unit training, so it's 17 weeks of essentially basic training.
Right.
Didn't change a bed, didn't do ever. I didn't get to go anywhere for my job. So that was terrifying. But the military's job, break you down, build you up. So by the time, Afghanistan came up, I wanted to go. I volunteered. I changed a platoon so that I could go. But it really prepares you for the worst in any situation. Mm-hmm. So it was really terrifying for about 17 weeks, and then it got pretty easy after that point. But you're with your essentially your family when you're out there.
Yeah.
So it's it's not necessary. You're terrified, clearly, but it kind of goes in the back of your mind because you're worried about all your soldiers and everybody else, and making sure that everybody can come home.
Nick Antonucci, our guest here. He's the Lions' hometown hero tonight at Ford Field. So if you're at the game or going to the game tonight, Nick will be out there. He'll be honored on the field, and certainly a very, very decorated military career. 2 combat action badges, 2 Army Achievement Medals, the Army Commendation Medal, and the Joint Service Commendation Award as well. And just tons of comments coming in on the YouTube thread just saying, Nick, thank you for your service. I mean, that summing it all up. It is. And it really is something that's great. It changes the physiology of the building at Ford Field. But Nick, before we let you go, because I've always wondered about this, right? And there's a different answer with everybody that I've talked to, and knowing Ronnie and getting to know a lot of soldiers' stories. You say, I volunteered. 9/11 happens. I volunteered. I'm going to Afghanistan. I want that. But I think the answer is in what you talked about before. You're not alone. And that's the reason you do that, right? Is that bond. And as you said, it is indescribable, isn't that bond that you feel? That's what drove you to defending the country at its most vulnerable time.
Right. I think, to join into the military in general, it's not like it's a glamorous lifestyle. You don't get paid a whole lot, but you have to be truly selfless when you're doing that. When you're there, when you're, just to be able to go, it just needs to be your mentality. One of the things that I kind of thought of was when I was volunteering to go to Afghanistan was, well, if I go, somebody else doesn't have to. And that's kind of that mentality of, raise your hand first. Like, I'll take the brunt of whatever, as long as I can keep whoever safe.
Yeah, if your neighbor's struggling to lift a box or something, you walk over there and you
absolutely
you help out. Well, Nick, certainly do appreciate your service. More appreciative of your time to come in. And
I have another question for Nick.
Oh yeah, sure, go ahead.
Nick, now, when was your last year serving?
I got out beginning of 2004.
My question for you is, when you were transitioning out, right? Usually, like a lot of athletes in professional sports, when they transition out, it's always a tough transition. And so, for you, did you start prepping for your transition before you left, or did you prep for it after you already transitioned out?
So typically, there's a 6-month ETS period, end of time in service, where you get out. You're supposed to go through these things. In my situation, it was about 2 weeks long because lifted the stop loss, so you're not supposed to be here anymore. Hurry up and get you out. I didn't learn a lot about how to deal with that at all. There wasn't really any classes on how to handle that stuff. And through talking with other vets, through talking with Darren, because different but exactly the same, it makes the mental health a little bit better. And there's a lot of support groups out there to get veterans and athletes together to kind of talk through these things, because who better to talk to than somebody who's actually experienced it. But it is extremely challenging for people when they get out. I mean, my first year being out, I wanted to get back in. And ultimately didn't do it, but it was there for a while of, I don't want to be here, I want to be back in the military. Because you miss that brotherhood. You miss your
And
family.
that's the one thing.
Did you keep that brotherhood when you finished? Did you guys keep in contact?
Absolutely. Yep. I have about 10 guys throughout the country that we still talk to, and I'm sure you guys are all in group text with your buddies, so it's one of those. So it's a lot of fun, a lot of smack talking, and,
Yeah.
But it's good. We
good.
We talk about different experiences, funny things that happen, just to make sure that everybody's morale's up.
Well, the whole thing is that you're not alone. We're all
100%.
messed up. Remember that. You know what? It's not about being. We're all messed up. So just remember,
degree,
there's somebody out there messed up just like you. It's just finding that. That's one thing before you go. What do you call yourself? I say you got the greatest title ever. You ever heard this? What do you call yourself when it comes to me?
The herder of cats. And imagine herding cats. Like how difficult that would be.
Well, getting to know Darren,
right?
I'd get a feel for that.
Figure it out. That's right.
But hey, so yesterday we're investigating the J.R. Smith going back to college and going to classes. So Mari from the HR, the
compliance director at Oakland,
came. And today, Nick, check this out. Now I'm going to let Nick answer the question with what the one thing that's wrong with this, but the intention is there. So the golf coach,
Nick Pumford, the golf coach at Oakland, is laying on a full court press.
Nice.
Full court press.
So here's the official, Oakland Nike with the Horizon League logo on the back.
You can probably help everybody out with your one comment about this right here. What would you say?
I'm assuming that you told them you needed an extra large and you don't.
Now you told me a large yesterday.
I did. But here Nick and I fight because I want extra large, and he says I got atrophy and I'm large, and it's true. So when I answered your question, it took me a minute.
Yeah.
Right. But this is a large. But what's the problem?
It's white.
It's white. Yeah.
It won't be. It'll be maybe for the rest of the show.
Right.
But I appreciate it. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I got there in a great Operation Valhalla hat. I didn't give it to him to the day he had to wear it.
Yeah,
I know.
Because you know exactly. Well, Nick, certainly everybody's grateful for your service. We are as well. So again, if you're at the game tonight, a little bit extra applause for Nick Antonucci. Very decorated career. Thanks for your time, brother.
I'm intrigued.
Guys.
Why won't you wear a white shirt?
Because I can't keep it clean, bro. Bro, because watch, there'll be a coffee stain on it, a chew stain. There'll be something. It's
One thing he gonna do.
I can't wear. It's Drake's banned me from white's underwear back in 1994 when we were roommates. So it's always dark in the shorts and dark in the shirts, just because self-awareness, joint.
Self-awareness.
I'm not
that in
styling
out.
and profiling like you, and I don't try to do it on purpose. It's just the way I am.
I'm not styling pro. I just got on a shirt and some shorts.
No, but the whiteness, I can't do it, right? Like it.
I was hoping when I came in, Joik was going to bring that shirt he had on at Top Golf a couple months back.
What shirt I have on at Top Golf?
Yeah, I think you're at Top Golf. Black,
I feel birdies
crazy
already,
orange thing going
Ready?
on.
Yeah,
I think
no,
we were talking about it on social media. Like, hey, I need that. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna send it to you.
Let me know. You got it. Whatever you want, Nick.
All right, Nick,
It's
well,
the
again-
least I can do.
Right.
It's the least I can do. I'll bring it in.
Appreciate your service tonight. Enjoy
Thanks,
the
guys.
moment tonight. You've definitely earned it, and you made your country a better place, my friend. Thanks again.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it,
Thank
Nick.
you.
Nick, I
How's
never
Joik
knew
there?
it. I've been knowing Nick for months now. Probably since, last year, December? Was that December when you came in? Never knew that. Never knew it.
Decorated career, man.
Never knew it.
Very decorated career.
Never knew it.
So we'll take a break, come back. We got more of Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Big D!
You know why realtors love using Hall Financial as a lender? Because of our commitment to speed and service. We have nearly 4,000 five-star reviews already. Call today, 248-308-5000, or go to callhallfirst.com.
Welcome back to Big D Energy. Golfer, soon-to-be college golfer, right? Darren McCarty here in the
on that
building.
right elbow,
He's got that
bring it
Oakland
down.
polo on. And it's funny, Darren, I don't know if you saw this or not on Twitter. The Oakland fans already jumping in. They got the trading cards made up. If, you know, you can,
Well,
you
that
can see
no,
that. We'll
actually,
get Alex to put that one up on the screen.
So that is actually a card, and wondering why, if you see it, that is an NHLPA license card from back in like 94, 95, playing in any NFLPA tourney or whatever. So they superimposed the Grizzly on it and stuff, which is awesome.
I'll get that over to Alex so
I
we can
love
put
it,
that one.
dude.
Oh, he's
Look
got it
at
right there.
that.
Look at Alex, man. He's a man. He's
Oh.
a man. That's the
I mean,
short
look,
print limited edition.
I told you, I feel birdies already.
The only thing I don't like about this, Darren, is that white shirt.
I know, but I got to go with the sponsors, Drake. You know how.
Well,
it
hey,
is.
name, image, and likeness. Now you can strike a deal with Upper Deck.
Gosh,
You
darn
know,
it. Here we
SP
go.
Authentics.
See, I'm gonna need. Yeah, like I said. See, you and Nick, I'm gonna need. I just got to work on the game. Me and Coach got to work on the game. You
We're
guys got
sure.
to take care of the stuff around it.
Sure. Well, again, and
Take care of the logistics, they call it.
The logistics,
We'll
thank you,
take care of the
Joy.
logistics.
The business.
And
Them
hey,
been-
when they're paying Bitcoin, you go to my man, Mr. Bell over there. He will tell you exactly what
crypto payments.
crypto.
We're building an empire
We need
right
to
here.
talk about. We haven't talked about crypto one time since you guys been on the show. We haven't talked about it one time.
I'm here for it, man.
All right.
The blockchains, the mining.
So what's going on in the crypto? Like because
This is a short segment. We could touch on it for a couple minutes right here.
Yeah.
yeah, I just want to know. Like Bitcoin used to be at 50 grand, and what's
It's
that now?
back to about that.
It's back.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's back up there. It's
dipped
like
down to
Why am I
47.
30.
not hearing
It's
about
about
Bitcoin
47.
as much as I was before? Like even commercials or
Because everybody
Because-
that bought it at 50, it dipped down to 30.
Yeah,
and
and
they
bought-
all
and bought back
they,
in.
Yeah,
They- so-
their
so-
paper hands let it go.
what about the Doge?
So what? Or Doge? Well, I'm not a big. Because when Doge was created, it was created as a joke. It was
Yeah, I
a
know.
joke when they created it. And the thing I don't like about Doge is it doesn't have a cap on it, so they can build as many. And that's the thing I like about crypto is that it has a cap on each coin, and that's the thing I like about it. It can't just keep printing.
Doge up 5% today, as a matter of fact,
Yeah.
live according
What's
to
it
Yahoo
at?
Finance. 28.5 cents.
All right, so okay, that's up from 5 cents when.
Yeah.
But I would say if you want to invest in Doge, that's more of a short term,
Okay,
and so do that. The coins I like, I don't want to put it out. It's Cardano. I like ADA.
Yeah.
So it's ADA. That's the ticker for it. It's Cardano. That's one
You
of
big
my
Litecoin guy?
Litecoin is cool.
Yeah.
Litecoin is cool. It's going to be there. Ethereum is going to be there. XRP is going to be there.
Ethereum's big with the college kids right now. They love it.
Well,
so my question, Jordan.
Like people are building these big supercomputers. You can build. You can go get a supercomputer, buy a supercomputer, and then build your own, mine your own coins.
My
Right.
question to you is: would you take payment for services in Bitcoin
Yes,
or
I
whatever?
would. That's not even a question. Yes, I would. in a
Okay,
heartbeat.
so like
In a heartbeat.
I'm asking you not as I'm asking you somebody who is dumb to it, right? But if I asked you and you go, yeah, I would, then that means that if I have the opportunity, I'd look into it. But can you explain to people, because like which one you like the best, and not like Bitcoin's?
I'm gonna say, well, what they call Bitcoin the digital gold, and they call Ethereum the oil, the digital oil.
Okay,
right? So these are the two coins that's going to be around now. The thing is, you have the guy who helped create Ethereum. He left Ethereum because he knew all the holes that were in it, and he had a different vision. So he created the coin called Cardano. The thing you like about Cardano is the gas fees are much lower than Ethereum gas fees rather. And so the gas fees is what they charge you when you purchase the coin off the transaction. And so Ethereum gas coins or gas fees are much higher than Cardano's. And so
they're gassing them up, as you would say.
Yeah, gassing them up. And so for me, I went to ADA because it was a cheaper coin and it has the bigger value. So I mean, there's been, like, Bitcoin is always going to be there. That's going to be king. It regulates the market. When Bitcoin goes up, for some reason, all the other coins goes up. When Bitcoin goes down, all the other coins goes down. It was at one point where Bitcoin was going down, but Cardano was continuing to go up. And so when the guy left Ethereum, he went over to Cardano and he started to build this coin, and he had a bigger picture on what he saw for the coin. And so we can get to, like, we need to have a segment where we can really sit down, we can talk about it, because it's so much that goes into this, but it's so easy. What makes the crypto market so unique is because you can be here, I can be in China, or I can be in Africa, and we want to get a deal done. You know how hard it's going to be for you, and say I want you to wire me over.
Converting currencies, and everyone takes their little piece of the action.
So it's like, so say I needed you to send me $1 million for this transaction, right? And not saying it doesn't have to be $1 million. I'm just using this as a number. It can be whatever.
Right, nice round number.
Right. It's just a round number. By the time you send that coin to the time I get it in Africa, it can be 5 to 10 minutes, versus how much time it will take you to go through all the paperwork, everything you have to do with the bank. Why are you sending this amount of money? Why are you doing it? You can just send it that way and be done with it. Wash your hands with it. And the thing that used to make crypto so unique as well is you couldn't see the person sending the money, and you couldn't see the person receiving the money. And now the government has come out with KYC. Know your customers. So they dropped the KYC. So these platforms that operate in America, they have to have a KYC. Basically, the government has to know who the people on your platform are.
They're going to get their hands on it, Joy. Before this is all said and done, you know that, right?
Right, they're going to get their hands on it.
They're going to get their hands on it.
Yeah, but that's the thing that makes it so unique, and why the market fluctuates, because all the regulations that they're trying to bring through the bills, the things they're trying to pass through the House and through the Senate, and so if you look at the market, that's why everything is dropping down. So when Elon Musk put $1 billion, $1.5 billion into Bitcoin. And so it takes so much fossil fuel to create Bitcoin. And so the people were giving him a hard time, because how can you be for clean energy, but you're accepting forms of payment in Bitcoin? And so he took Bitcoin off the market. Because you remember, for a period of time, you can buy a Tesla with Bitcoin. And so once he started getting stuff back from his investors or from the shareholders, he took that off the market. Now, that's when the Shiba coin came out. So have you heard of Shiba coin?
Yes. So
Shiba coin came out, and they had talks about using that coin because it uses less fossil fuels. And so it's a lot of stuff that goes into it. I'm still learning things as we go along, but it's definitely something cool that I got into about 3 or 4 years ago, and I've been in it ever since.
Yeah. It is. It is something that certainly has taken over the world, not just America, but taken over the world. I just say, if you're here in America and what turns you on about it is the no government regulation and those types of things, get ready, because they're going to get their hands on it somehow. They always do, Joy.
They always do. But the thing is this, though. You want to make as much as you can before that happens.
There you go. The clock is ticking.
The clock is ticking.
No question.
And so what happens is they will take a lot of these coins, some of these companies who started these coins to court. And when that happens, you'll see the coin drop down. You'll see the coin price drop down because they're going to court. You don't know what's about to happen. As soon as it dips, that's when you buy, because a lot of the coins that's there, they're going to continue to stay there. They're going to be there. They're not going anywhere.
Right.
And then once you see it goes, and once you see they beat the case or they start to drop certain aspects of the case, you're going to see that coin start to rise back up, kind of like XRP.
Right.
All right. And
Ripple,
so, just like Ripple. So XRP is just a ticket for Ripple for people who may not know, but something I got into, and I started putting my energy into it. I started reading different articles, and the next thing you know, things starts to make you'll start to read this, and it kind of correlates to what you read over here. Like, okay, so everything just starts to come together, and you put two and two together. So
yeah, absolutely. But if you do lose all your money in the market and you find yourself in a position where you have to live off the land, what should they do, D-Mac?
Absolutely. Coast Portland. Yes, go to coastportland.com, WSN20 for 20% off. You can get these perfect lights for do-it-yourselfers outdoors. Fish shows you the headlamp light, everything else. This week, it's Friday, hashtag How We Coast. Going out to my boy, Donald Holland 14. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of stuff on there for the guys in the death matches. So a fellow wrestling, and I know that a lot of death matches coming up, so there you go. Donald, pick it out. Make sure, don't use the machete, please, for the death matches. Fish, I like it. Anyways, if you want to know, you too can get it on the drawing, hashtag How We Coast. Every Friday I'll be giving away a $100 gift certificate. Until then, go to coastportland.com, WSN20, 20% off. Tell them Big D Energy, Woodward Sports sent you. We'll be right back.
It's also
here.
rechargeable.
Yes.
Welcome to the Call Sam Chopper Shop, where you can win a custom-built chopper while helping our veterans at the same time.
Watch as the Bad Pig Custom Team turns this bike into a one-of-a-kind classic chopper.
And when it's finished, we'll be donating the bike to Volunteers of America, Michigan to raffle off in support of our vets.
A great cause to give back to those who've given so much.
Watch for Call Sam Chopper Shop episodes on our social media channels and get your raffle ticket today at callsam.com/chopper shop.
Welcome back to Big D Energy here on the Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Joyke Bell, Darren McCarty with you. Happy to have you along for the ride on a Friday. We're pushing through, man. Coming up to the second half of the show in just a few minutes. Big thanks to Nick Antonucci, the Lions' hometown hero. He'll be honored at Ford Field tonight, so if you're there, give a little extra round of applause for Nick and everybody that served our country. One of the big headlines in the sports world, much to Tom Mazaway's dismay, Jake Paul is fighting Tyron Woodley. That's coming up Sunday night, right, in Cleveland, where the Cavs play there, Quicken Loans Arena. And we got people on the scene there. And I'm curious, as we will welcome in our guy, Easy. He's live on the scene in Cleveland covering the fight. And, Easy, I know that you were out there. You got some great video. Tom Mazaway would call it a circus. It's fun, though, isn't it, Easy? All the pomp and circumstance that's going on, it's fun to be there, isn't it?
I'm like just being surrounded by the people I've looked up to in the combat community world, and just I guess getting to have conversations with them, the one-off conversations with coaches like Antonio McKee, AJ McKee, who just won the featherweight championship in Bellator. This is great. BJ Flores is here. He's Jake Paul's coach, and it's festive. And we had a little dust up yesterday during the press conference, so I feel like I'm getting every bit of experience you'd want in a fight week.
When you look at it too from that perspective, these guys will be boxing, and Tyron Woodley is an MMA guy by trade. Jake Paul is trying to move his way up the ranks. He's a huge draw. You can say what you want, like the Tom Mazaways of the world can say what you want. There's a market for people to watch Jake Paul fight. You know how I know? Check the checks he's getting.
Yeah.
No, exactly. And the other part too is the people here, like I said, they cover combat sports and participated in boxing and MMA for years and years and years. And the majority, all of them have to say the same thing. Jake Paul can box, whether you like it or not. This kid's putting in the work. Speaking of BJ Flores, has been part of the boxing game for a long, long time. It's Jake's head trainer. He asked him, he was asked today in today's media roundtable, who's had what work, who can you compare Jake Paul's work ethic to? And he said Jake Paul has the hardest work ethic than anyone he's ever worked with. He said his schedule and everything that he's done is down to a T. This kid's very calculated, and let's be honest, he's here for a reason. You know, things like this just don't happen. You know, people bust their ass to get here.
To get where? To get where?
To get in the middle of the fight game, the middle of the fight universe, man.
To get where? Easy.
Yeah.
To talk junk on YouTube and then call people out and be a good heckler and get people to come out and fight. That's hard work.
It's hard work, man. Like I said, if it's something, I think it's Kevin Hart that said it. You know, if it's something everybody could do, then everybody would be doing it. You know.
Sure, and look, you know, there is a lot of hype around this, and Easy, I asked you the question yesterday when we were talking, you know, about what we would talk about here. This is a big event because the headliners of the boxing media world are there. It's not. I thought the Floyd Mayweather Jake Paul thing was there was a little bit of circus to a little bit of novelty to it and everything like that. And I think the mainstream boxing media probably treated it the same way. But they're in Cleveland. Everybody is there, right? I mean, big time boxing journalists are there. This is a big event, and I think, you know, with Tyron Woodley being there, it lends a little bit more credibility to it, does it not?
No, absolutely. Tyron's a 5-time UFC welterweight champion, maybe even a UFC Hall of Famer someday. Tyron Woodley's no joke. Like this, you say what you want from the kid's background, where he's came from, but like again, like this is Showtime pay-per-view boxing. The Schmo is here. Ariel Helwani's here. You got guys from MMA Junkie, the guys from ES News, another big boxing outlet. Like, everyone's here. It's a Showtime pay-per-view event. The same Showtime that covers Floyd Mayweather, the same Showtime that covers Deontay Wilder. This is a boxing event, and besides from, you know, Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley, make that the circus show you want. There's still actual boxers on this card. This gentleman, he trains in Detroit. He's from Cleveland, Charles Conwell. If you guys don't know, he was the one who threw the fatal blow that ended the career and life of Patrick Day in the boxing ring. You know, 4 days later, he died in the hospital. So, like, there's guys in this card that, you know, people are excited to see.
My question to you, Easy, is before you showed up live, like you said, to have in any sporting event, to be there live to report on it is different than watching it through TV. But what was your vibe going in, or your preconceived notion, and what has changed since covering these guys, and what kind of fight do you expect to see?
So today was a roundtable for the head coaches. Speaking to BJ Flores, the head coach of Jake Paul, is not that I never discredited Jake Paul before, just because as someone who, I'm not gonna say I'm obviously not a professional fighter, but trained a little bit.
You can beat Bruce Lee though. You can beat Bruce Lee though, bro. Remember that.
For sure. I got some weight on him. But the thing that's changed my perspective is to speak to what Neil said, all these credentialed people who've been covering boxing and combat sports for years and years and years, and speaking to the people in the fight game who are coming into camp to train and spar with Jake Paul. My perspective has changed, and this kid actually can box. You know, hearing BJ Flores, who's been part of the boxing game for 19 plus years, say that he has the hardest work ethic he's ever come across, there's something to be said there. You know,
there's something to be said there. Absolutely.
Yeah, and this will draw big numbers, I'm sure, and this will draw lots of bets.
Yeah. So real quick, what happened yesterday? Now, what was the big dispute?
Take us through that, Easy.
Take us through that, Easy.
Look, man, I'm sure as you guys know, just from playground rules, once your mama comes into it, it's a whole different ball game. And Mama Woodley, and I should have sent them the picture, but I was sitting next to actually Jake Paul's mother and Tyron Woodley's mom, and they were at peace. You know what I'm saying? We were chilling, we were talking, we were laughing at Jake's and Tyron's back and forth and whatnot. But there was a gentleman on Jake Paul's team named D-Cut, who just kept little tiny things. It wasn't nothing insulting or anything like that. He was just little subtle jabs, and Mama Woodley wasn't having it, and so she was cheering for her son. But for D-Cut to go back and forth, anytime you hear your mom excited in the crowd, you automatically turn up. You know what I'm saying? Who's messing with my mom? You know what I'm saying? And things definitely got scary because Tyron's sister came around and she was in his face, telling him I'll be the one to whoop your ass right now. And I don't think my man knew. But there was another guy from Tyron's camp right behind him, and when he got behind him, I was nervous for his life because he could have cleaned his clock. And D-Mac, it's a shot you don't see that hurt the worst. And this guy was right behind him, and it was and a lot of big bodies. Like I'm a big guy, right? But these guys are just as big as me with all muscle. So it was.
Hey, Alex, do we have a clip of that? Do we have a clip of it that you can play real quick? Yeah.
So here's the thing, Easy. What did you learn? Your stuff pops off. You got to get that back against the wall, bro. So you
where's
can
your
see
video?
it
Hold on,
coming.
real quick, Easy. Where's your video of the incident, Easy? Did you send it in?
Yeah, I sent it in the group chat, and then I sent a link too. Well, you know, Matt.
Yeah, Alex is pulling it up right now.
Pulling it up.
While he's pulling that up, though, Easy, how do you see this thing shaking out? For real.
Man, so like watching the open workouts, Tyron Woodley, like you gotta think of this, like everything you like Joyke was kind of relating to with Jake is like his clout, his fame, and then his success has come from like internet trolling type stuff, right?
Right.
Tyron Woodley has made his money, his career
by being a dude.
He bought his mama house off beating, yes, you know what I'm saying, beating the brakes off another human being, taking the will from other grown men. So like, and watching open workouts, I saw that. You know what I'm saying, I seen that in Tyron. Tyron is he's another level of athlete. But the point that's being stressed to a lot of people, and Joyke, I know you, and D-Mac too, you train a little bit of boxing. There's a sweet science to it. You know, where like guys, you know, you forget, like, yeah, it's a fight, but it's also a sport, and there's points involved, and there's like little pockets where you don't want to get hit, but you can still deliver a shot. So that's been Jake's day one.
You know what's the science?
A sweet.
You know what else is science? Centering yourself on camera. That's the science.
When I put it behind it, though, it looked like I was going to eat Neil.
Right there, perfect. We're gonna edit that part out.
That's pretty. Hey, that's pretty heads up though, Easy. I gotta say.
Are we playing Pac-Man?
No,
okay.
Easy. How's this? Before we let you go, man, how's this thing gonna shake? How do you see this going down? Woodley's gonna put one on this dude, right? And you can get him at plus money on my bookie if you wanted.
That's the crazy part to me too. Yes, like
it's plus money.
After watching the open workout and seeing like the level of athlete that Tyron Woodley is compared to Jake's open workout, I want to say Tyron Woodley all day. But the thing that everyone here is stressing, and it's not just like Jake's trainers, it's like, again, AJ McKee, Antonio McKee, like guys who've been doing this for a while, is like Jake's trained in the sport of boxing. This is a boxing match, so like it very well could be a point fight. But Tyron Woodley's got power. I'm plus money on Tyron Woodley. If you guys are betting, I'd take Tyron Woodley all day. If you lose money on that, I'll blame Neil because he said it too. So.
Boy, Easy,
you're killing.
Good man.
You're killing it out there, Easy. You're killing it.
Yeah. No, I love it. You are killing the coverage, Easy. Let everybody know, man. How can they, if they are interested? And the chat thread right now is split. You know, there are some people like Tom Mazaway who are laughing at this and kind of clouding it a little bit. But there are other people that give the respect out there that say, hey, you know, good on them. Because I'm not a hater, man. Like if you can go make money, go make money. And if that's through YouTube, if that's through box, however you do it, do it. Good for you. If someone's willing to give it to you, take it, because I'll take it. But, you know, with all that being said, how can everybody follow you, follow what's going on, coverage all weekend?
So I'm tweeting videos left and right, both on my Twitter from @SpeakEasySports_, and then I got some stuff on YouTube. We have a little process here at Woodward Sports. You know, the content gets funneled through a content group. So some certain stuff don't make it to our actual threads. You can catch that at the Speakeasy Sports YouTube page. I have interviews with AJ McKee, Bellator featherweight champion, and then I'm about to post shortly those same interviews with BJ Flores and Coach Tucker, who actually said, and this is a guy from the boxing realm who said Jake Paul's helping the sport of boxing. He's entered the sport of boxing. He's helping guys get paid. Every single fighter on this card is making the biggest payday they've ever made in their boxing careers. And it's all due to Jake Paul.
Yeah, and I would give him that,
and I would give him that, and that's why I said that he's bringing notoriety to the sport. That's what he's doing. I will give him that, because for a moment, like things were going downhill for boxing. Like people weren't watching boxing like they used to. Right? I think even like Clarissa Shields was having more views than most of the male fighters, and she wasn't getting paid nearly as much.
Right.
And so I never understood that. And so it's a lot of things that need to be changed in the boxing culture. But I'm excited to. You gonna watch it, Joy? Huh? You gonna watch it? Yeah, for free. Yeah, I'll be watching it for free. I won't pay to watch it. No, I won't pay to watch that. No, but I'll watch it for free. But you know what though? To support the other boxers, I don't know. Let me think about it. I'm gonna watch it from his Twitter. Are you gonna do a play-by-play?
I will be doing play-by-play for sure, and then if we haven't got that fight video up, I'll make sure to.
Do we have that fight video?
Actually, I think I got
during
it
the
on
press
YouTube right
conference,
now.
Adam?
All right, well, Easy,
All right.
we certainly do
Good talk,
appreciate
Adam.
you. Yeah, we certainly do appreciate you, checking in and bringing us up to date with everything that's going on. And I'll be keeping up with it. There's no doubt about it, Easy. You're one of the best at it, man. Appreciate your time, brother.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. Hey, D-Mac,
problem.
congratulations on your match last night, too, man.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Hey, how do you do? How did you do?
I'll show you later in the show.
Okay, how do you do?
Little tease.
I'm still here.
Nick and yeah.
So, question,
I appreciate
Easy.
you guys.
If we put it
Yeah.
now, you've already went against Stick. If we put you in the ring with D-Mac, who will win?
I mean, it's boxing.
Listen, I'm going to
It's
reign
really
the
hard, I'm
ice.
not gonna lie.
That's it. Anybody on the ice. Let's go. That's my domain. That just
There's
ends
another
it.
media member here that I had a little run-in with before my time at Woodward Sports, and we got to squash things too. The Schmo. I'll
Who
post
is
a
that?
picture and video with him soon too.
That's
Who is
good.
that?
He's showing maturity
He's
at your
MMA
young
journalist.
age.
Art?
Nah, come on now.
Oh, okay.
All right,
it's
Easy.
the Schmo.
Yeah.
It's the small. Oh, who's
I
the small?
appreciate you
Who's
guys.
that?
Yeah, all right, man.
All right, keep doing your thing, man.
We'll talk again soon. That is Easy covering things for Woodward Sports out there at the Jake Paul fight, and it is, man. It's become a big topic. Lots of media out there. Tyron Woodley, he's a dude, man. So, and again, last I saw,
mass. Now the thing is this: don't you think they had a conversation before this fight? Said, listen, we're gonna box. I know you're the professional. Take it easy on me. I'm gonna put a lot of money in your pocket. Don't embarrass me. And if we make it,
I think there was a degree of that with the Floyd Mayweather fight.
Yeah,
because
you don't
when I watched that, Floyd had some opportunities. That could have ended very badly for Jake Paul.
Now with Jake Paul, did he fall and Mayweather kind of held him up?
Yeah,
held him up.
And it was plain as day to see.
And Jake Paul said, "I was never knocked out. I was never. What are you looking at, bro? What are you?"
Yeah, but here's the thing: you could see Floyd Mayweather was going to be the show anyways. With this, I think this is too personal.
How much money did he make?
I'm the wrestling guy, but if this is a show with Woodley, I don't think it is. Like, I think this is going to get this is real.
You know how much money Floyd made on that fight?
A lot.
No, but I understand. But what Floyd did or how he did it didn't change anything for me. You know what I mean? That's the way it was going to play out. It's a joke. What I'm saying is Woodley right now, I expect him to get some shots in and see a real boxing match, whether he wins or loses.
Okay. Mayweather made $10 million guaranteed and 50% of the pay-per-view dollars, and Logan Paul got $250,000 and 10% of the pay-per-view dollars. So big time money.
Have I told you about Levels?
Level Up?
Yeah, Level Up. Levels in Center Line is now open. Come experience the next level in cannabis on Sherwood between 9 and 10 Mile. Download that app today and start collecting points so you can level up. Search Enjoy Levels on Apple and Google Play stores right now. Make sure when you stop by Levels today, you mention Woodward Sports sent you. Say so.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Welcome back to Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Joyke Bell, Darren McCarty here with you. And we were talking about a little bit earlier, high school football in full swing. Woodward Sports will be there as well. That is tonight, Oak Park at Orchard Lake, St. Mary's. We'll be there broadcasting Woodward Sports Facebook and YouTube, Twitter as well. So make sure you check out that coverage. The biggest football games in the world of high school football will go down right here on Woodward Sports. So make sure you follow along for that. Some big-time matchups. Shout out to my Fraser Ramblers. Big opening season win against Holly. They're 1-0, the push to the playoffs. I'm all in. I'm certainly all in. But if you want to keep up with the big-time matchups of high school football, Woodward Sports certainly is your ticket for that. And, speaking of football, we talked about it earlier, and I had some laughs about it at week 0 of the NCAA college football season, which I don't get why they would call it week 0, but for some stupid reason they do. The Athletic ranked all 130 teams in college football. And some of the numbers that jumped out to me were surprising. And, Joik, I'll ask you this question. Michigan, do you think they're ranked higher or lower than TCU?
Probably lower now.
They are,
Yeah,
as a matter of fact, which is something I've talked about for a very long time. Over the course of the last decade and a half, TCU's done everything that Michigan's ever done in college football. And now these rankings are starting to suggest that as well. Do you think Michigan is ranked higher or lower than Nevada? The Wolfpack.
Oh, lower.
They are,
Yeah.
as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Nevada's the spot in front. The moral of the story is this, when I tell this story, because for whatever reason, and we have our little chat threads and everything like that, and people getting involved with the show on YouTube. I think people know, like Joik, when you answered that question, I think you know, but I think the people don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I did research on it.
Yeah, exactly. But if I would have asked you that a month ago, you would have said, "Oh, no way!" No way that Michigan is ranked lower than Nevada or TCU. But the point of the conversation is, this is what it is. Michigan checking in altogether number 38 in the athletics ranking of every single college football team. But that's how much damage has been done to the brand, Joik.
It has. You know what? But it's because they're not winning.
Yes, that's exactly right. And because they're not beating anyone of substance.
It's a simple fix. Win. A simple fix. Win.
Well, apparently it's not that simple because DMAC,
Well,
Jim Harbaugh's struggling with
look
it.
in the top 25, and maybe depending on where state is, but Michigan would be the perennial whatever. It's always in the top 10, or at least when it's a down year, top 20. But all these teams that you're naming, these are teams that wouldn't even be in the same breath growing up or whatever with the pedigree of Michigan, but even Michigan State. I'm used to Michigan State sort of being treated nationally like they always don't get the respect. They got to earn their respect. But Michigan, it goes to show you nationally how it's viewed, because Michigan would always be the team that if they were 38, they'd still be 20th. Right now, smoke and mirrors are gone, and everybody nationally sees that there are teams better than them, and they better get their stuff together real soon. To Joink's point, got to go out and win games and prove it wrong.
Yeah, Bob's Big Boy on YouTube said Michigan needs some Jake Paul mojo to wake up that program. They got boring and recruits notice. But that was part of the problem for me with Michigan, is that there was a lot of Jake Paul reputation, and it was all bun and no burger for a very, very long time. As far as Michigan State is concerned, though, I mean, they're not excluded from this conversation either. Joik, do you think UAB is ranked higher or lower than Michigan State?
They would probably be ranked higher than Michigan State.
The UAB checking in at 56.
What's UAB?
Alabama Birmingham. UAB checking in at number 56. Michigan State checking in at number 64.
That's like a Dearborn.
I mean, it's a directional Alabama school, and just to give you the flavor, Maryland above Michigan State, Memphis, Tulsa.
You know what,
the only good thing is that there's a lot of room to improve. So there you go.
No, I'm gonna tell you this. But Maryland, those Terrapins, they have those years when they're up and they're down, then they have a great year, then they just drop off for a few years, and they have that one special year.
Yeah.
Right. And they had that, I think that was special. Was that 2016, 17 when they had that special year? They had that good season, then they dropped off. And so I'm not surprised that Maryland is above MSU, because they might be overdue for one of those years.
They are overdue. But
yeah.
I mean, just it put it in. And look, for me, somebody who does this for a living, that is paid to know what's going on, it even staggered me for a second, Joik, just to see those names. I mean, again, as far as Michigan is concerned, the Boise States and the Nevadas and the TCUs and the UCFs, this is where they are.
The one
though.
is Northwestern.
Right.
Northwestern being ranked 32nd, where it was always that was the sort of used to be always a vocational school, and where you pick on them. Pat Fitzgerald gets there, they turn their program around, and they're legitimately in front. I guess the whole thing, as you see on the comments and stuff like this, is there's not much further to go down, so let's get these teams back. And for me, the most improvement I think will come out of MSU. They're the ones that can bridge the gap quicker, because I don't see and I don't hear anything coming out of Michigan. Maybe that's good.
And there was a story out where their captain said the time for talk is over, and they have to do, and it goes back to Joik's point of, at some point, you just got to win, man. I mean, that's the only thing that's going to save the ship. But I think for Michigan, though, D-Mac, it's not even just winning, because they have a lot of people snowed with that 8-4 record that they put out there all the time, because they play 3 MAC schools at home, and they play Army at home, and they play Rutgers in the Big Ten, and they play Illinois in the Big Ten, and everyone gets enamored with that 8-4. They're 8-4, but they never win big games, and they haven't for a long time. Everyone knows the Ohio State story. Everyone knows the Michigan State story. But when they play good teams, they don't win on the regular.
No,
they don't win.
To me, it's not about their 8-4, their 9-2. It's who they beat. They got to start beating teams, especially teams that are, to get credibility, you got to go out there and prove it. So,
them not being Ohio State the last, almost
110 years. It feels like 100 years.
Yeah, like the last decade. I mean, that's going to ruin your reputation. And one of the biggest rivalries, which is starting to die as a rivalry. Well, I'm not going to say it's going to die as a rivalry, but it's not as competitive. What made that rivalry a rivalry was the competitive edge these teams had against one another, the animosity, and then they were able to back it up on the field. And when one team is winning over and over and over and over again, it just kind of takes away that history of what started this rivalry in the first place, And so, for me, if they start to win these big games and win the games that they're supposed to win, which they're winning the game they're supposed to win, it's the games that where they get to this big stage, and the lights on you, and the world is watching,
and they get cooked.
They lose. They and how can you build a culture on beating teams that you're supposed to beat, and then losing the big games? That's not the legacy you want to leave behind in any profession. That's period.
Unless you want to be the Boise States or the TCUs of the world, but that's not what we're sold with Michigan, right? Everyone talks about leaders and best. It's just, it was telling, and we all know. I know, Joik knows, D-Mac knows, you guys know. You guys know. I see the social media comments and everything like that. It was another one of those moments for me where not just the scoreboard after they play Ohio State, and Ohio State comes up and hangs a 50 burger on there or a 40 burger or whatever. Those are moments where everybody knows. But to see those names that are in front of Michigan, it's sobering, man. It's very sobering. And the nation, the media, everybody's beginning to – it took them a long time, but everybody's beginning to see it for what it is. And, as far as Michigan goes, that's how grim it's gotten. And I don't know. I mean, we know what's going to save it. To go out, to go 11-1, not have that one be Ohio State, to challenge for a Big Ten title, to get to Indianapolis, a place they've never been, to play for a Big Ten championship.
Wow. Man, out of the backfield. Joik Bell, no hands. No hands. Bessie with a Tessie pass. Anyways, I digress.
That was great. I tried to do a trick catch.
Dude, maybe sometimes just the basics, because that throw was really good, Kennedy. Nice hair, by the way. Is it raining out?
Kennedy is a beast.
Look, is it raining out?
Is it raining outside?
It's very wet out, and my bestie.
Oh, look at
Somebody. No. Someone drove their Jeep without that top on.
My bestie, and just for that, I'm about to do something very special for you. Very special for you.
Yeah.
Something very special.
A new car?
No, well, you know what you could do.
How about
you know what you could do if she likes pizza?
Ooh, what could I do?
Get her some Papa Romano's pizza.
Ooh.
They're doing a new Greek pizza. You can go Greek with Papa Romano's for a limited time only. Papa Romano's is introducing their new Greek pizza. It's a classic blend of bold Greek flavors, tasty Mediterranean toppings with tomatoes, olives, onions, feta cheese, and more. And get a large Greek pizza for $16.99. Opa!
You know why realtors love using Hall Financial as a lender? Because of our commitment to speed and service. We have nearly 4,000 five-star reviews already. Call today, 248-308-5000, or go to callhallfirst.com.
Sega Sergey.
Welcome back to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule. He's Darren McCarty. Joik Bell in the house as well. And happy to have you along for the ride. And we got Fish confirming some breaking soccer news, which we will get to in just a couple of minutes. But speaking of soccer, D-Mac, this is a big segment that you've been waiting for, that I've been waiting for as well, to tell some of the stories around Detroit sports. And it's a Detroit City Friday right here on Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network, as we will welcome in our guest, Andrea Reynolds, really one of the point people for the Northern Guard. And look, if you don't know, that's something that we are doing right now. We're trying to tell these stories. Detroit City FC off and running in their league, in the National Independent Soccer Association. They're at the top of the table right now. As we speak, they've won every single piece of hardware that you can win. And DMAC, this was important for you, a big moment, because you want to tell these stories. In Detroit City FC, you know, really, I mean, if you go by facts, the best offering right now in Detroit sports.
I like the truth, accountability, and everything. And what we're about here, not only Big D Energy, but Woodward Sports Network, is about the people, the sports, and everything about the culture. And to me, these are my Detroit Red Wings, sort of back when we played, where we carried the mantra for the city, and that's what these guys are doing. But because what I'm intrigued about, Neil, and what is so important is getting the fan base. And I preach to everyone, whether I'm at a season ticket event, whether we're talking Wing Wheel Nation, it's to get LCA and use what the Northern Guard does, because the camaraderie, the culture, how they get it in. And as an athlete, if we can get LCA rocking and rolling and make it easier to give some motivation to the players, like it used to be for me when I played it at Joe Louis Arena, it was easier. Entertainment facilities, so why not go to the best in the business and go to the head of the head? So that's what we do here. We go look out, like George says, is that what do we need to do? Let's go and get these questions answered, because I'm interested. Now the beauty is we got a little bit of time, right? We got a little bit of time before that time comes, but I don't want to come to the party late.
Absolutely. D-Mac wants to be on the forefront, and right now we will welcome in Andrea Reynolds of the Northern Guard, the point person for all the smoke and everything that goes on. Detroit City FC coming off a big 3-0 win against San Diego 1904 FC. That was a match I called on television, on TV 20, all over the state of Michigan as well, as we're getting that video shot into the studio right now. We do have it. Okay, I appreciate it. So, Andrea, welcome in to Big D Energy. How are you? I know Detroit City FC sitting at the top of the table, so I know you're doing all right, aren't you?
Yeah, for sure. Doing well. Can you hear me?
Absolutely. Yep. We got you. Andrea, certainly do appreciate that, and it is good to have you here with us. But, I mean, as Darren said, you know, the culture of the Northern Guard, and that's something, there are a couple of different avenues as far as I'll go down this, but the culture of the Northern Guard is something that I love a lot. You know, talk about that culture that you guys have and what you guys have built.
Well, it's a really great culture. It's a very community-focused culture. It's not just about soccer. It's about everybody and being inclusive. You know, one of our mantras is that the only thing that we hate is hate, and Ohio, of course. Can't forget that. But you know, the game day experience is like no other. I was actually at the Stanley Cup match, or the Stanley Cup game in 2002 when you guys won the Stanley Cup, and there was obviously a lot of energy in the Joe at that time, but you feel that almost every game at Cheetah Stadium.
No, and I think that's so important. So to use some of the stuff, can you give a little bit of a history how the Northern Guard started? And I love the smoke bombs and everything, and I had to put a preface because I don't want to call from Steve Eiserman saying we're not doing smoke bombs in the arena. But my end goal is to have LCAs inside singing along just like you guys do, cheering, getting behind. How did the Northern Guard more or less come about, and how do you get people to buy into sort of the culture to make it what it is today?
So when the team was announced, there were our founders, two brothers, the Butcher brothers, decided they were going to start a supporter group. And a lot of it was because they wanted the experience that they were seeing on TV when they watched soccer in England and in Europe and South America and elsewhere. And so fortunately the club gave them a little bit of leeway, or has given us a little bit of leeway. I think we often go about the idea of asking for forgiveness rather than permission in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
But we were lucky to have a property or a stadium with Cass Tech that was willing to let smoke and things like that happen. And of course, having a club that was supportive of it. And I think they said they were hoping for a couple hundred people at the first match and got 1,000 and have not looked back since. A lot of it is grown through social media. Believe it or not. And a lot of it, I think the club has relied a lot on supporters and word of mouth and encouraging, bring your friends to the game, tell your family about it. There are certain games where season ticket holders get additional tickets to encourage new people to come to the matches.
Joined by Andrew Reynolds here of the Detroit City FC Northern Guard. I've always said pound for pound, the best sports fans, not only in Detroit, but certainly in America. And Andrea, you talked about all the organic, and this is what really drew me in. It didn't have a lot to do with the atmosphere obviously is great, but you talked about the social causes and the social initiatives. And I always talk about the story when people ask me, you guys really turned me on to what was going on in the LGBTQ community, and that's just one of the many, many causes that you guys get involved with. Because as you said, it's not just about sports; it's about social issues and everything that's going on. Whenever you guys get involved with a situation, it always turns out to have that situation be better than before you guys got involved with it. And again, the social initiatives like you talked about, certainly everything that you guys have done for the LGBTQ community. And for me, that's something, again, I like this phrase where I always say, I knew, but I didn't know. And now I know, and this is a cause that I've backed too. And the organicness of everything that you guys have done, that's what makes this, right? The fact that it's not plastic, it's not bought, it's not, hey, everybody show up with this same color T-shirt on or stuff like that. Like, this is organic. This is as real as it gets.
Absolutely. I think one thing that makes me laugh is I have some friends that would go to the matches and sit on the non-smoking side. And they would say, well, I'm not sure about going over there. Everybody's wearing black. They have skulls on. They swear a lot. It looks like a biker gang to me, like a motorcycle gang. I'm like, This is the farthest thing from a motorcycle gang that I've ever seen, to be honest. Very inclusive, and I think, showing that inclusivity helps encourage and bring more people into the whole experience. But certainly, Pride Raiser has been a big thing. I think they just announced last week that the supporter group raised $23,000 for Ruth Ellis Foundation through our supporter group, and then Ally matched that, actually exceeded the match, and contributed. So it's a $50,000 donation just to that organization from Detroit. But Pride Raiser actually stretches beyond our supporter group, and I think there's 54 different supporter groups from around the country, some in Canada and even some in England, that participated this year to help local organizations in their communities.
Good.
Well, I just wanted to say that Neil and I were talking before, and I think I'm going to come down, and I heard a rumor that there's a smoke bomb with my name on it that I get to blow up. So I think I can say that I will be down there for the game on the 18th. Did we say
Is that what it is? All right.
And I think that what's important is this is going to be an ongoing conversation. I think the Fridays to get not only to know the people that are surrounded, obviously involved with the different organizations, but what I love about it, it's so city. It's all city, and you guys have done this together. So do you have any advice, something along the ways, because this is like the process and we're not going to ignore it and stuff like this, but what did you notice in how it's taken a mind of its own? Because I think the big thing is I want it as organic with the Wing-Wheeled Nation. The Wing-Wheeled Nation's there. You're a part of it too. We're all a part of it. We just got to rekindle that. And I think if what you guys have done compassionately through, it's not about the sport, but I think that's what I'm trying to get across. And then we have fun. I mean, couldn't you imagine a sing-along inside LCA? I know as a player, I'd be so jacked in a playoff game. So is there a process to what you've noticed for the Northern Guard to get to where you're at now?
I think one of the things that's helped the Northern Guard is that ability to be organic. It wasn't the club coming to somebody and saying, hey, we want a supporter group for this team. It was somebody saying this team needs a supporter group, and the club giving them the, some autonomy to make that happen and not necessarily force it into a particular format.
Well, Andrew, we certainly do appreciate you taking the time. And as you talked about, this is something that started with a couple hundred people. It's moved to thousands. There's 7,000 people at Keyworth on the regular. There's a television network that goes all over the state of Michigan. Matches are available in 8 million houses as well. I mean, it's a beast.
I had a question. So if someone wanted to go out for the team, what would be the process for that, Andrea?
As far as trying out for the team?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the club does hold tryouts. I'd say the best thing is to get in touch with the front office, and Trevor James, who's the head coach, who's outstanding. That's probably the easiest way to get started. But even that's for people that want to try out for the pro team, of course. But the club is actually branched out and is in the communities. There are, I think, 5 different youth organizations throughout Southeast Michigan. And so start them young, get them in the system.
Absolutely, and it is something that continues to grow from a whole franchise perspective, and a whole team perspective, the whole community perspective, and everything like that. So, Andrew, we do appreciate your time. It's awesome. DCFC Fridays here on Big D Energy. We're going to do it again every single Friday here during the season. And Andrew, we're glad you could kick things off. We'll talk again soon.
I got the smoke bombs ready.
All right, there it is. She's got it ready to go. Appreciate it. Thanks again, Andrea. Andrea Reynolds with the Northern Guard. Really one of the most special group of fans, supporters in American sports. It is incredible. Sports Illustrated doing stories about them. I mean, it is incredible. What you got, Fish?
The first question I have, and Joik, I'm cheering for you, but do you have stamina? Like, can you run for 2 miles? Oh, 8 miles for 45 each way.
They run for like 5 to 6 miles per a match.
Breathing, full speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so do you have the stamina to run?
No. I would have to train for that. I have to train. Like football training is different from soccer training, and so I have to train for that. But I could have it though.
Have you played for the U.S. national team before? Because guys that have played for Detroit City FC have played for the U.S. national soccer team before. No? Okay.
I never played soccer at all.
Okay.
It wasn't for me.
Oh, you're talking about somebody else. Okay.
Yeah, it was for.
I got you.
It was for people who might be interested and who might be listening.
I actually thought it was for you.
No.
No truth to the rumor, by the way, that Detroit City FC is locking in on a Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm here to debunk those rumors right now. What's the latest on that? Is he going to Man City or what?
He's going to United.
What?
He is. Yeah. It is. So 2 hours ago, I guess City backed out of their deal.
They wanted $33 million for him or whatever else. I don't know what the financials were on that.
Well, United gave him lower.
Nah.
They gave him. I have the conversion rate here. They gave him 29.48 million American dollars.
Okay.
So 25 euros.
I got you. Detroit City FC will be in action next on September 11th at 4 p.m. at Keyworth. They'll take on New Amsterdam FC. DMAC gave the verbal confirmation Saturday, September 18th at 7:30 at Keyworth. I'll get that all set up for you. We'll get DMAC out there. Andrew, you'll coordinate with DMAC, and he's got the smoke bomb with his name on it.
I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll take a break. When we come back, DMAC, speaking of events, you were at one yesterday. You got the bumps and the bruises to prove it. We'll get your recap of Darren McCarty's wrestling. Yeah, Darren McCarty's wrestling appearance when we return. It's Big D Energy here on the Woodward Sports Network.
I got up at like 4.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Welcome back, everybody. Coming down the stretch of Big D Energy on a Friday, pushing towards that weekend. Neil Rule, Joik Bell, Darren McCarty. Happy to have you with us wherever you're watching. Big welcome to everybody. Maybe you're checking it out for the first time. Detroit City FC fans that have jumped on here as well every Friday. Detroit City Fridays. We'll talk to somebody from Detroit City FC. So, make that appointment viewing or appointment listening. You can download the app in the App Store or in the Google Play Store as well. Subscribe on YouTube and rock out. But DMAC, a big wrestling event for you yesterday. Break it on down. I know you got the bumps and the bruises to prove it.
Yeah. Well, I got, like I was saying, I had not worked in, and that was nice to you.
Adam,
because I sent a picture. I got a few pictures.
Just to give everybody the background, Joik said, hey, wrestling is fake. He said, hey, it's ficted. Hey, it's fake.
You know what, though? I will use D-Mac's word when I said it was fake. He gave me a better word. He said it's
choreographed.
It's choreographed.
Choreographed is a word I like to use. Ric Flair said that.
All of that. So I will use those two words before I call it fake. But the makeup, look at this makeup that D-Mac put on his side after the match.
Well, I was going to go through the, I'll show you live, but I was going to go through the entrance. Here's the match. So there's a couple pictures. So here's sort of the finish after I had to give him the uppercut here. So my finisher's a D-Mac Stoner. This is after the crowds got involved. 2 little kids got in there. So then, bam, watch this pop. He sells that huge. And I don't want to get chirped by Jim Ross. So look at the roll-up. That's a professional roll-up right there.
That was professional. Great. My son would be impressed.
Both legs up. Don't want to get chirped. But just so you know, Adam, there's a few pictures there. But did you get the one with there's the entrance with the Stone Cold and there's the robe with the cups and the D-Mac on it. But I'll show you the picture at the end. If I don't show you so there's in the ring, and then so I did get bruised. I will show you. I did send it. It was in a second email, or I can show you live.
There it is.
See,
right
that
there.
is not makeup, or allegedly I got up at 4:20.
They took some strawberries
to get makeup.
They mushed it together in that mojito grinder thing, and they rubbed it on the side of them. That's
what it
good
is.
makeup.
Joik, man, you can't deny that right there. That's real, bro.
That's good makeup. Who's your artist?
It's a good thing I got D-Mac CBD roll-on, because, man, I put that on before.
Yeah. Where can they get that CBD?
The CBD roll, DarrenMcCarty.com, or anywhere that Darren McCarty products are sold throughout this great state of Michigan.
Yeah.
Or you can go to hemp10.com. One or the other.
Hemp10.com. I like it.
Hemp10.com.
That's a good one. I feel like a real. So now it's like I got that out of the way. I got that bucket list. What I realized is that I don't want to do singles. I like to jump in and be around and different things like that. So I love it. That's fun. So I had a blast. Another bucket list. Thanks to Rhino and Gary and everybody at IWR for allowing me to, it's bucket list stuff. Having fun. The best part is we took it to there's a video, Antonio Frio, Frio, that he had the video, but when I took him to the crowd and I gave him a huge chop right? And then I got the kid, about a 10-year-old kid. I go, you gonna hit him for me? And it's like when D-Mac asks you to hit somebody, you don't question. And he hit him, and the sound that it made, this little kid, we all looked and went, man, good. And then there's 2 little twin or sisters, 6 or 7, and I said, you get them 2 and both at the same time. Bang, slapped them too. So the fans loved it. It's all about the pop. So that was fun.
Yeah, and it's a hit too on our YouTube chat thread. Mike G says, great execution, D-Mac. That stoner is a nasty finishing move.
It's a nasty finish.
You let me know when you want me to come do some choreography. How about
all right, there you go.
So, Joy, you never got into wrestling at all?
You'd be a great wrestler.
You never got into wrestling at all?
I went to one wrestling match when I was a kid. I didn't know we were going to one. And I was with a friend. And me, him, and his mother all went to a wrestling match in South Bend. It was in Notre Dame. And I remember The Rock was there.
Ooh,
The Rock was
there. That's big time.
It was big time. The Rock was fighting. And it was pretty. It was a dope experience, but it wasn't anything that I could, like, my brother loves it. Like, my brother, he loves wrestling. And so he watched. I'm like, how can you watch this?
Man, Joy, you must be a lot of fun at parties, Joy.
I don't know what's worse. I don't know what's worse, like worse acting, like wrestling or like General Hospital. I don't know.
Well, you might not know this. Detroit's like a great wrestling town. They had WrestleMania 3 there. There was 90,000 people at the Silverdome. WrestleMania 23 was at Ford Field. Huge sellout crowd there as well. It's a great wrestling town, Joy. Come on, man.
Good for them. I don't know what to say.
Such a hater, man. The Silky Johnson of wrestling is here in studio.
I didn't. It wasn't something that I partook in. I'm not telling you that you can't do it. I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you of what you like. I just couldn't get into it. I'm not against it. You know, I might have to go do it to, gain more respect for. I don't know. Like
people on the YouTube chat thread right now, what would Joyk's wrestling name be, D-Mac? They want to know. What do you think we could
do? Juggernaut, dude. There is. He's a juggernaut.
Oh yeah. He doesn't like wrestling, but he's got a wrestling name ready to go, like at the ready to go.
That's my name now.
Be the Juggernaut.
That's my name now. So it's just be Juggernaut. Like, it's right there at Juggernaut. I'm gonna change him.
He had a wrestling name just at the ready to go. No, but what people also want to know, and I do want to know this too. Don Moore speaks for Neil Rule when he says this. Was that a Ric Flair style chop?
It was
pop?
Big. Oh yeah.
Does the crowd still do that? Do they do the woo?
I didn't woo it because that's stealing from Ric Flair.
But the crowd usually does it.
They got into it.
Absolutely.
You could have said you don't have to say woo. You could have said ooh or something. Just take the W off.
There you go. Somebody said
like
your mine finishes the stoner. Yours is the bell ringer.
I like Ric Flair. I do. I like his. I like the way he move. I like Ric Flair.
He is. He's great. We're gonna take our final break of the show. Come back. I saw a moment yesterday in the high school football world that made me feel very, very old. I want to know if these guys have any old moments as well. We'll also get you caught up with what's popping this weekend for everyone. Motoring towards the weekend here. Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We're recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Back at it, final segment of Big D Energy. Neil Rule, Joyke Bell, D-Mac, Darren McCarty in the house, Fish in the fishbowl. Adam's over there in the producer's room as well. Dave Schultz on the YouTube chat thread is talking about Bobo Brazil, the Sheik, and Dick the Bruiser. There's some old school wrestling folks in the chat.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Is he a Detroit guy?
Yeah.
He is, right?
Yeah, he was
I thought he
top
was.
of the card a lot of times. So.
Yeah, but where's he from though?
Brazil. I don't know.
Look that up, Adam. Where's Bobo Brazil from?
We'll find that out.
No. Look it up right now. Let's find out. Where's Bobo Brazil from?
Bobo Brazil was from Benton Harbor. There we go. Joy took us for a ride right
Took it
there.
for a ride.
That was the bell ringer right there.
Yeah, he did. He took us for a ride.
I took you for a ride there.
Before we get into what's popping for the weekend, I did want to take a couple minutes. I saw this clip going around social media yesterday. And in the high school football world, Canton's Antonio Gates Jr. Was making plays all over the field yesterday. And they mentioned on Bally's about how that is Antonio Gates' son. Former Chargers great. Speaking of Detroit guy as well. Big-time basketball player at Kent State, as well as a football guy. That tells you how great of an athlete he was. And I was like, damn, Antonio Gates Jr. I remember the fantasy football days from when I was younger. Antonio Gates was the prize tight end to get. His son's out there balling right now. A guy that, when I was an adult, I would draft his dad in the fantasy leagues, and you see Antonio Gates Jr. here with the step in front and the pick. He's out there balling out, getting things done for Canton or for Fortin, I'm sorry. And he's out there making plays, and I just felt so old, D-Mac, when I saw that. I felt so old. That was another one of those I'm old moments, which I am. I'm getting old. I embrace it. I've come to terms with it. But, D-Mac, you ever have a moment where you're like, damn, I'm old?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, no matter what it is watching guys I played against, kids playing in the league. Keith Kachuk's got Brady Kachuk,
right,
and he's Matthew Kachuk, and there's a ton of Kachucks, and you watch just younger guys that you played against, or when you see names and you go, I wonder if it is, Claude Lemieux's son, Brendan Lemieux, who plays a lot like his dad, and so I think that's when it checks it out. A lot of, to bring it home, is last year when Keenan Drapes got drafted 7th round. So, man, like when you watch these kids grow up before your eyes, especially in our dressing room or our locker room, and then see them get a shot, it's pretty crazy. That's just like a wow, where did time go?
Yeah, it is. Joy, you ever have an I'm old moment? You don't. You fight it, so you probably don't.
Well, he's not old.
I'm not old. Yeah.
I'm old, so I have old moments.
You know what? I started early, but my son has after this year he have one more year. He'll be a senior next year in high school. Not right now, but next year he'll be a senior. And I think about that. I'm like, dang, I'm old.
Right.
I'm the new grown-up. I'm the new grown-up. This is what the new grown-ups look like. But then I think about it. I say, I started early. So
that's it.
So there you go.
So it's by default that I thought that, and I always say, well, I started early to bring me back. Oh, no, I'm still young.
Yeah, but my oldest son starts high school this year. So, again, that's another one of those moments where you're just like, man. Because I don't feel that way. Like, no. I don't feel that way.
But you are, though.
But I am. Yeah. No, you're right. You're not wrong.
Experienced.
Yeah, experienced wise.
I'm still young. Once you hit the other side of 40, then like you're not old. You're just the new grown up.
The new grown up. All right.
But I always thought it was
40
cool.
to the new 20. 40 to the new 20.
But that's the whole thing. Isn't it cool though to be able to see some of the fathers and sons play in different sports with each other, because having kids at a younger age. That opportunity was sort of there. If maybe not in your sport, but in other sports.
Here go a little trivia for you guys.
Ooh.
What was the last father-son duo that hit back-to-back home runs in the MLB? Hold up. Let me ask D-Mac. You got it?
Well, I'd say probably it'd be the Bonds. Or not the Bonds. I'd either go the Griffeys or the Bonds. I'll say the Bonds.
The Griffeys, right?
The Griffeys.
Yeah.
The Griffeys.
That one I knew.
That was an easy one.
That
you guys know that one.
They did.
No, they know.
That's a pretty commonplace.
So what's the next? So would you be here for Bronny and LeBron playing together 1 year before LeBron?
Know that's what he's working for.
Yeah.
So because
who? All right, what would be the first NFL duo to do it?
That one I don't know. I can't imagine there, because that career span is so short in the league.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Which it might be an opportunity if he doesn't retire. He might be able to do it.
I don't know. Who is it?
Frank Gore.
Oh yeah, Frank Gore's probably got 30 more years left in him, right? He'll probably be out there till.
Yeah, I think it might either be 2 more years before his son is or 1 year before his son is eligible to enter the draft. So that'll be, I think it's 2. It might be 2 or 3 years.
That would be incredible.
2 or 3 years. Now that would be.
That certainly would be incredible. But as we wrap up the show here, it's time for what's popping, what everyone's got going on over the weekend. D-Mac, your weekends are always jam-packed. Where can the people find you this weekend?
They can find me. So tonight, not participating in the wrestling event, but down in Erie, they have the Bump in the Night at the Burgers and Brews, where my death match, a couple of my death match guys, so Kill Justin Kyle is my big guy, who October 1st on the nationally televised death match in Fenton will be down there to the ring. So I'm going down there. Got Clio Cultivators Cup for anybody who's up in the Clio area this weekend. Yeah, I'll be in Marshall, Michigan tomorrow afternoon from 4 to 6 at the with the Copper Athletic Group. So I got a busy weekend. Hopefully weather's nice. Play golf on Sunday. How about you, the unruly Neil Rule?
yeah, the wrestling name's going around, the Unruler. I actually do. I do kind of like that. Tomorrow, actually, I'll be on We Are Soccer here in studio on the Woodward Sports Network. That's a huge show. That's a
great show.
That's really taken off. I will be on at 8:30. I think the show goes from 8 to 9. So that's a big time show that's getting some big time traction. So if you're a soccer fan, I know there's a lot of you out there. I'll be on there tomorrow. I'll be talking about Detroit City FC. I will be on the call on ESPN Plus on Sunday. Oakland versus Michigan in NCAA soccer. That's a big-time match. I know the Golden Grizzlies fans looking to mobilize there, have a big-time crowd. I think last time Michigan was there, I think we had almost a couple thousand people at the game at Oakland. And this Golden Grizzlies team, they had a 0-0 draw against Butler last night. They're poised to do some special stuff. They got some big-time players that have come back. I'm calling for it. They'll make a return to the NCAA tournament. I'm calling for it.
Nice.
So there will be that. And drive that home.
An unruly call.
Yeah,
right
and you
here,
guys have gathered this, right? Like, I'm not a Michigan fan,
No.
so let's get it done against Michigan. A little extra jack on that lunch on Sunday.
Yeah.
Joik, what do you got? I know you got a lot of high school football coming up.
Yeah, I do. I have my nephew game was last night. We talked about this earlier. Then I have my son game tonight. So I'll be driving down right after this, heading down there. Hopefully get there around 4:30. Handle some business. His game is at 7 tonight. Make sure you guys tap in. St. Joe High School playing Madawan. And so I'm excited to go down there and see my son's first game on varsity.
That is cool. That's
Between
a
your
big
sons and your nephews, you got a lot of game film to watch
funny.
on Sunday,
It's
don't
funny.
you?
He's calling me right now.
Aha.
As if he doesn't know I'm on, like I'm on air. He's calling me right now.
Yeah, it'll just be a couple minutes. Certainly, we'd be remiss if we did not mention on Saturday the Taylor Little League World Series team will be in action against Honolulu, Hawaii. The rematch, they lost to Honolulu in the pool play, but now it's a winner-take-all semifinals. A berth in the championship game will be on the line. And Taylor has the advantage because the pitching is flipped, and that the Honolulu ace pitcher is not eligible to pitch on Saturday because of pitch count. So guys from Taylor, get it done, guys.
Oh, yeah.
And they got the bats going again in 2 hits. You're not going to shut them down, putting 15 runs on the board. It's great. So good luck to those kids. That could be that could be the Michigan-Ohio battle for the Little League World Series.
Can you imagine?
That'd be awesome.
Especially all the pent-up Michigan fan energy that would be there, because this would be like their only chance to beat Ohio in something.
In a long time.
Yeah.
Big shout-out to City Councilwoman Mary Sheffield, Big Sean, putting on a big celebrity kickball game tomorrow. If you guys want to come out to it, I'll have it posted on my IG, so make sure you go tap into my Instagram, Juggernaut, right there. Tap in, JOIQUE RNAUT. It's kind of far away. So Juggernaut, tap into that. It's going to be a lot of fun, raising money for his foundation. And so I'm happy to be a part of it, and a lot more celebrities will be out there. So come out there, have a good time. And if you want updates, check out my Instagram later on today.
Absolutely, and everyone's fired up. Tammy Chin says, go Taylor. We echo those sentiments, man. Bring this thing home and get Michigan the Little League World Series championship. They got as good a chance as anybody. So, and hey, college football, week 0, here from the MyBookie studios. So, put 2 and 2 together right there, D-Mac.
Absolutely. Remember, go to mybookie.ag. First deposit up to $1,000. You can bet on week 0. I don't know what that means, but there are some games. There are some games.
Right, and if you have bumps and bruises, make sure you check out, what is it? Dan McCarty?
DarrenMcCarty.com. You get that CBD roll-on or hemp.
Hemp10, HEMPTENN.com.
I got boo-boo.
Gang.
Oh, wait, it's rubbing off.
Big
Sorry,
thank you to
didn't
everybody
see that.
for watching and interacting. Fish, Adam, everybody affiliated. We'll see you guys coming up on Monday. This is
Gang.
Big D Energy.